Welcome. I want to ask you something. How long have you been studying English? Months? Years? And how do you feel? Are you excited? Or are you exhausted? Most English learners tell me the same thing. They are bored. They are stuck. They are studying from textbooks that have no heart, no inspiration, no reason to care. But here is the truth. The most powerful motivational quotes in the world can teach you English better than any classroom ever could. Not because of the grammar, but because of the feeling, because of the transformation. Today, I am breaking down the 5 most powerful motivational quotes and showing you exactly how each one teaches you fluency, confidence, and the mindset you need to finally succeed in English. By the end, you will understand that learning English is not just about words. It is about becoming someone new. Let us go. Here is something neuroscience has proven. You remember what moves you emotionally much more than what bores you intellectually. When you learn grammar rules from a textbook, your brain processes it as information. When you learn English from a quote that inspires you, your brain processes it as truth, as meaning, as something that matters. That is why motivational quotes teach English better than textbooks. Because motivation changes everything. When you are motivated, you do not just memorize words. You internalize them. You use them. You live them. Think about it. You can forget a grammar rule in minutes. But a quote that moves you, you remember it for life. You repeat it. You share it. You use it in your own English. And suddenly, you are not just studying English. You are speaking English with passion, with intention, with power. So today, we are not just learning 5 quotes. We are learning 5 life principles. And each one is going to teach you something about English and something about yourself. Let us start with Steve Jobs. He said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." Now, look at this sentence. What does it teach you about English? First, notice the structure. The only way to. This is a common English structure. It means there is one solution, one path, no alternatives. When you understand this structure, you can use it for anything. The only way to speak fluent English is to practice daily. The only way to improve is to take action. The only way to succeed is to keep going. See, you just learned a structure that native speakers use all the time. But there is more. Look at the vocabulary. Great work. Love. These are words with emotion, with meaning. This is not textbook English. This is real English. The English of people who care about something. But here is the deepest lesson. Steve Jobs is telling you that excellence requires love. And if you do not love your English journey, you will never achieve fluency. You will never reach your potential. So the question is not just about English. It is about you. Do you love your English journey? Or are you just going through the motions? Because if you do not love it, change it. Make it something you love. Learn about topics that excite you. Speak about things that matter to you. And suddenly, your English will not be a chore. It will be a passion. That is what this quote teaches. That is the power of learning from motivational wisdom, not just textbooks. This is Zig Ziglar. You do not have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Look at the structure here. It is parallel. You do not have to be, but you have to. This is rhythm. This is power. This is how great speakers speak English. Not with complicated words, but with rhythm, with structure. And notice the vocabulary. Craig. It appears twice, but in different ways. Do not have to be great versus start to be great. Same word, different meaning, different impact. This is how language works at a high level. But here is what this quote really teaches you. It destroys the excuse. The biggest excuse English learners have is, "I am not ready yet. My English is not good enough yet." But this quote says something different. It says you do not need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. And that is true. You do not need perfect English to have a conversation. You just need to begin. You do not need to know all the words. You just need to start speaking. So if you have been waiting to be ready, stop waiting. Start now. Your English does not need to be great. You just need to begin. And the beginning is now. Eleanor Roosevelt said this. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. This is different. This quote is not direct like the others. It is more poetic. And that teaches you something about English. English has multiple registers. Sometimes is direct, sometimes is poetic, sometimes it is formal, sometimes it is casual. Great English speakers can move between all of these. Notice the vocabulary here. Beauty, dreams, belongs. These are words with deep meaning. They are not practical words like table or run. They are words of imagination, of hope. And when you learn these words, you learn that English is not just for communication. It is for inspiration, for vision, for dreaming. And that is what this quote teaches. Your English journey is tied to your dreams. If you dream of traveling the world, your English is the key. If you dream of building a global business, your English is the tool. If you dream of connecting with people from other countries, your English is the bridge. So ask yourself, what is your dream, and how does English connect to that dream? When you answer that question, your English stops being a subject you study. It becomes a tool for achieving something you love. Tony Robbins said, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." Look at this structure. The only is the one. It is parallel again. It is repeating a structure for power. And the word choice, journey, impossible. These are big words. These are not small words. They are powerful words. And notice something else. There is a negative in here. The only impossible. It is saying that everything else is possible. Every journey except the one you do not begin. In other words, if you begin, you can succeed. That is the message. From an English standpoint, you are learning how to use negatives and contrasts to make powerful statements. The only is a structure that creates emphasis. It says, listen, there is one thing that matters, but the real lesson is about action, not intelligence, not talent, action. You could have perfect English grammar, perfect pronunciation, but if you never actually speak, you will never be fluent. You have to begin. You have to take the first step, and then the second, and then the third. That is the only thing that determines success. Beginning. Henry Ford said this, "Whether you think you can, or you think you cannot, you are right." This is a famous structure. It is called a binary choice. Whether you think S, or you think Y, you are right. It means both outcomes are possible. It depends on what you believe. And the vocabulary is simple. Think, can, cannot. These are basic words. But the power is in how they are used. The power is in the message. Here is what this teaches you. Your English fluency is not determined by your intelligence. It is not determined by how much you study. It is determined by what you believe about yourself. If you believe you can speak fluent English, you will, because you will take the actions necessary. You will practice. You will speak. You will push through the fear. But if you believe you cannot, you will not, because you will make excuses. You will avoid speaking. You will quit when it gets hard. So this quote is asking you a simple question. What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you can master English? Do you believe you can speak confidently? Do you believe you can reach your goals? Because whichever you believe, you are right. So what do the 5 quotes have in common? What makes them powerful? First, they all challenge you. They do not let you stay comfortable. They ask you to believe in yourself, to take action, to dream bigger. Second, they all use English in powerful ways, through structure, through vocabulary, through rhythm. They teach you not just what to say, but how to say it with impact. Third, they all connect to your journey. They are not just nice words. They are practical wisdom about what it takes to succeed. And learning English is exactly that, a journey that requires belief, action, persistence. But here is the most important thing. These quotes do not just teach you English. They teach you who you need to become. Because fluency is not just about language. It is about becoming someone confident, someone who can communicate, someone who can connect with the world. When you study these quotes, you are not just memorizing words. You are absorbing a mindset, a way of thinking, a way of being, and that changes everything. So how do you use this? How do you actually apply these quotes to your English journey? Here is what I want you to do. Pick one quote from today, the one that resonated most with you, the one that moved you. Step 1. Write it down. Step 2. Say it out loud. Every single day, in the morning, before you practice English, before you have a conversation, say the quote. Let it sink in. Step 3. Use it in your English. If the quote is, "You do not have to be great to start," use those exact words in a sentence. I do not have to be perfect to speak. I just have to start. Step 4. Live it. Take action based on the quote. If Steve Jobs says you have to love what you do, make your English practice something you love. Change the topics. Change the method. Make it exciting. Step 5. Share it. Tell someone else the quote. Explain why it matters to you. And guess what? You are speaking English. You are using complex sentences. You are communicating with passion. Do this for 7 days. Pick one quote. Repeat it. Use it. Live it. And watch how your English changes. Watch how your confidence grows. Watch how your mindset shifts. Here is what I want you to know. Your English journey is not just about grammar. It is not just about vocabulary. It is about transformation. It is about becoming someone new, someone more confident, someone more capable, someone more connected to the world. And that transformation does not happen in a textbook. It happens when you connect to meaning, when you connect to inspiration, when you connect to something bigger than yourself. These 5 quotes represent 5 different paths to that transformation. Some tell you to love what you do. Some tell you to start before you are ready. Some tell you to dream. Some tell you to take action. Some tell you to believe in yourself. Together, they create a complete philosophy of growth, not just for English, but for life. And when you embrace that philosophy, your English becomes effortless, not because the learning is easier, but because the motivation is clear, because the purpose is real. You are not studying English because you have to. You are speaking English because you want to change your life. You are learning because you believe in yourself. You are pushing forward because you have a dream. That is the real power of learning from motivational quotes. That is what transforms you from someone studying English into someone who speaks it, someone who lives it, someone who is fluent. So here is what I want you to do right now. Choose one of these 5 quotes. Write it down. Say it out loud. Then tomorrow, write down your own motivational quote about your English journey, your own sentence, your own wisdom. And if this video helped you see that learning English is about more than words, if it helped you believe in yourself and your journey, then subscribe to this channel right now. Because every week, we break down the wisdom that transforms you, not just as an English speaker, but as a person. Your English journey is your transformation journey, and it starts with belief. Thanks for watching. Now go live these quotes.